Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. I am Lance Brock, and once again, I have to apologize again for last night for not having a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic up last night to talk about Raw last night. I have no idea why. You know, if you're a regular listener of 360 Wrestling podcasts, you know, especially 360 Wrestling Fanatic, normally Monday nights heading into Tuesday morning, I'm normally up and at it, ready to record, talk about Raw, but for some reason last night, as soon as I finished watching Raw last night, I fell right to sleep for some reason. I was just so tired. It was almost kind of like a switch or something almost. Right after Raw was over, that switch flipped and I fell right to sleep. And luckily, like I said, I was able to stay up long enough to watch Raw last night, luckily. But as soon as it was over, I was out like a light, like they say. And so on this Tuesday morning episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, I'm going to go over Raw a little bit. Or 360 Good Morning Wrestling fans. See, like I always say, I don't even know what podcast I am doing at the time. Good Morning Wrestling fans, Tuesday episode. I'm going to go over Raw real quick. And the main storyline of the show last night was the two men's Judgment Day, and I guess you could just call them Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor is their team name, if they even actually have a team name. I want to say I saw somebody yesterday calling them VIP, was it? And we did get an explanation from Drew McIntyre explaining that he did not actually join the Judgment Day, but he will be a part of their War Games team at Survivor Series. I thought this promo by Drew McIntyre was great. I really have enjoyed this heel turn so far, if you can really call it a heel turn, because, like I said, he's not really joining Judgment Day, but he hates Jey Uso so much that he's joining forces with them to take them on at the Survivor Series this Saturday in War Games. Also, another thing I have to apologize for is, in case you hear the rain in the background, and yes, last night's Raw actually was here in Michigan, my home state, in Grand Rapids. Unfortunately, I was not able to make the trip all the way to Grand Rapids to see Raw live last night. Would have been fun, but unfortunately, I was not able to make that trip. So if it does seem kind of like I may be talking a little louder than normal, it's because of the rain. Here I do have my umbrella up covering the phone as I record. I always say that I probably am the only podcaster that records, and some rude car driving by right now, even though I am recording a podcast. But I was going to say I probably am the only podcaster on the internet who just walks around recording their podcast. I'd probably have to say, especially as far as Good Morning Wrestling fan goes. Good Morning Wrestling fans, as far as that goes, probably do. I'm probably the only one who does a daily podcast every morning on their iPhone while they walk to work. And it's unfortunate that people around here don't care. They just drive by rudely and make noise and everything. And now we know that it is official that Drew McIntyre will be on the Babyfaces team. And of course, last night we had the Man Advantage match for the men's Survivor Series War Games match taking place this Saturday at the Survivor Series. So with the tease we got last night of Cody Rhodes' friend doing it, obviously it appears to be Randy Orton who will be coming in to team with Judgment Day at War Games, unless this is just a part of some really big swerve. Not Strickland, but as long as this is just not a ruse or anything, and just more so kind of a tease, and actually the partner is not Randy Orton at all. But I would say I probably doubt that, though. I'm sure we will probably see Randy Orton at the Survivor Series teaming with the Judgment Day. And now back to Raw last night, though. Actually, talk one more news thing before I talk about Raw. I'm gonna close this morning's podcast with some news instead. I actually was thinking about coming on yesterday afternoon and doing a special breaking news update kind of podcast like I do sometimes when there's a really big news story that comes out during the day. Now, I'm not sure if everyone listening out there right now, if they think this is as big of a news story that I think it is, but I think that this is one that definitely deserves like a breaking news podcast. Unfortunately, I didn't do that, but I was going to last night. And yesterday afternoon, it came out that following this past Saturday night's AEW Full Gear pay-per-view, that the Young Bucks have quit their popular YouTube show, Being the Elite. Of course, I would say that this is excuse me, this is real no surprise at all. At Full Gear, you had the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho, and Kenny Omega defeat the Young Bucks, getting their title shot that they had at the AEW World Tag Team Championships. So to be honest, and with this, now that it looks like they are switching up the Young Bucks characters with this apparent heel turn now, they had them out there ringside. They were throwing chairs around, tearing up the announcer's table, just having a hissy fit. And Nigel McGuinness even said on commentary that they were acting just like how Kenny Omega said they would, like children. So it was definitely interesting now that there's not going to be any more BTE being the elite. Now, I have to admit, lately, I haven't really watched it as much as I have, especially when it first started. I kind of took a break from it, I guess you could say, and kind of stopped watching the new episodes. But the last few Mondays or so, instead of new episodes, it's just been pre-taped matches of Brandon Cutler and Colt Cabana teaming up, usually in squash matches. And now it is official. Brandon Cutler tweeted about sources to the Young Bucks quitting being the elite. But actually, when you think about it, Brandon Cutler records it, edits it, so wouldn't he really be the source? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I actually think it will be back somehow in some shape or form, but that's just me. But I don't really think we have seen the last of being the elite. Let me know what you think in the comments, either here on Spreaker, YouTube, or whichever podcast app or website you listen to on. And I will talk to everyone tomorrow to hopefully preview tomorrow night's episode of AEW Dynamite with all the fallout from Full Gear. And until then, have a great pro wrestling day.